Welcome back, boys and girls, and you know it, we know it. We're going to a game 3, baby. That best of 3 to best of 1 decider. Newbee were able to strike back and shut down that position 1 bench.
Seems like whoever picks more carries win, as I mentioned during the second game before. You really didn't feel the influence of Venge this game at all.
No, I think it was 22, 23 minutes. They had one tier 1
Shadow
down with
Blade.
and they had Avenge, an Undying, and a decently farmed up Omni Knight, and they still weren't able to get any sort of pressure going. Felt like it was just the lanes could never really get quite in control, and maybe they were a bit more obsessed with getting kills and trying to find these heroes farming in the jungle rather than actually turning that into objectives. We saw that crazy amount of vision they had inside the Radiant jungle, but they're still tier 2s. They're still tier 1s across the whole map.
Yeah.
It's not worth it to go just for the kills in this patch. You can get more gold just by clearing the whole wave. So you need to get some objectives after a tower or whatever, a Roche. Also, Omni Knight went for Radiance build, which is cool. It's better to have a Omni with the Radiance, but then he needs to cast Repel on himself. Then OD does not have one. Neither does Venge.
Yeah.
Also, you have Undying, which is a pretty popular pick. Same goes for Bane, but after a certain point, the hero just goes down. It feels like you're playing 4 versus 5.
Yeah. Young 11, still the standout player for me that game.
Yep.
I mean, he obviously had a lot of farm. He was able to get the Radiance. We saw that kind of funky solo kill up against the Ancient Apparition in the top lane. It kind of spoke to his power, but he has been my MVP this tournament, Trent.
Yeah, he also even had the most damage that game, right? He's dealing with like an OD and Avenge, and he was still 5k ahead of all of them in terms of overall damage.
He did
it
about
seemed,
20,000 damage that game. And just for reference, Moogie on the Sven did about 21,000
There's
damage.
a different category to highlight, though, and that's the building damage, where none of their heroes are able to crack into 4 digits. You're talking like 700,
Yeah.
400, 600, and that's it for buildings the entire game.
And then you've got SCC on the Medusa with a solid 7,500.
Yeah,
Pretty good.
So
Well, that's the thing. I feel like whoever gets to that level 25 faster, which are pretty imbalanced, super overpowered. Medusa with Scotty and Mjolnir build, she procs 3 Mjolnirs on one shot, plus slows down everyone.
Yeah.
yeah, pretty
Welcome
insane.
to Dota 2, boys.
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah, it's pretty good. Sven Medusa winning Dota 2 together. Would you believe it?
Yeah. It really does feel like right now whoever has that carry power when push comes to shove is able to just edge it out. It's
They had the draft to win, honestly. Vici Gaming, they just weren't able to execute. It was very well played by Newbee, obviously. They were able to keep the lanes in a way that they weren't overwhelmed. Vici Gaming couldn't just... Because you can imagine if they got one of those tier 2s maybe, and then they just kind of do that swift rotation to the mid, and they get that mid and get both those towers.
it
and then
opens up the
another
whole
one.
map, right?
Yeah.
It begins this whole cascading effect where you take out the tower, then you can get wards up in the jungle, you can find those rotations and start cutting off parts of the map. But all that starts with being able to kill the towers.
If they played 20 games, same lineup, just switching the themes, which lineup do you think would won?
Personally, I would think Vici Gaming, but I guess maybe the Venge carries felt a little overrated, perhaps. Maybe the itemization of it was a bit different. I'm not sure about like the early Shadow Blade and everything. I definitely believe in this early sort of presence, but at least if I go by how these drafts have been going and these games have been going, it looks like the late game seems to keep winning.
Yeah, also, you have a KP, which had a phenomenal game.
Yeah.
1 death, 5-1-15 on Batrider. Whenever he plays exceptional, his team wins.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about the impact of the offlaners, and that's definitely a truth we've observed. It seemed like Moogie also got a lot of space in that game. Like in the first 10 minutes or so, he had kind of a field day. He was #1 on net worth. He had a lot of farm. There was a moment where the CS chart, he was at like 65, and the next highest was 45. And I think that's always both Sven and Moogie as a player. It's scary to let him get that kind of farm.
Yeah.
When you have Moogie on Sven, you can't give him that much space.
We had him like solo pushing a tower at one point top.
Yeah,
So it's
exactly.
just Sven was like, well, how is this happening right now? But again, I guess all that focus on the jungle just losing out on a couple objectives.
Also, I'm glad Sven started to build Mask of Madness into straight Blink Dagger.
Yeah.
Skipping that Echo Saber build, I was never a fan of it because it delays your Blink Dagger so much, especially if you're playing from behind, and you run out of the slots pretty quickly with that build.
He also needs to be really quick, I think, to buy more time for SCCC, just because of his mid lane obviously went pretty poorly. So
Well, yeah, you have that mana problem kind of with a Sven early on, so you just buy a Magic Wand, which replaces that mana region from Echo Saber.
Did you guys like the Bloodthorn that Moogie picked up that game?
oh yeah, perfect, right? Omni had no answer. All he could do is maybe get swapped out or something, and then the fight still's going to go very poorly for them.
Yeah, not an item we see too often, but situationally it feels like Sometimes it is the coup de grace.
Yeah, super strong on Sven. It just fits his whole profile, what he wants to do
Coup
anyway.
de grace, you mean?
You almost got me there for a second. Oh, Grant. Oh, Grant. All right, so game number 3. This is the decider. Winner of this one moving on to the grand finals against Liquid. Loser of this one guaranteed 3rd place at the Dota Pit Minor.
Yeah,
So this is a huge match coming.
I didn't know Grant is bilingual. Didn't know he's French as well.
It's amazing, isn't it? Yeah. All his European languages are just fabulous, you know.
Parlez-vous, baby.
I'm not gonna lie. I would like to see Newbie go just for the pure reason I want to see that rematch and I want to see them take it to Liquid. You know, that's
Getting whooped
that's
by
what
Liquid
they really
3-0.
want. Come on, it can't happen again, right? Surely they'll be able to put up a fight.
It could,
but
will it?
On the other hand, you know, it'd be kind of cool to see Ori up in the grand finals there.
I want to see more old 11. I was already a fan, but this is like young 11 has just raised the stakes.
Yeah, he's taking that 2.0 thing seriously.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
Went down a couple years.
Usually it's like you get better as you get older and more wise and you can learn more, but this is he's like Benjamin Button, but for Dota. He's gotten younger and it's made him faster. I don't know how it's happened.
He's even if they honestly lose this
Probably
series,
on steroids.
he almost could still be considered the MVP of this tournament. Honestly, like I can't think of another player who has just been like such a standout compared to everyone else on his team in every single game.
So consistently, it feels like there aren't. You know, we've seen KP have some great games, for example, but very seldom has it been the same. Well, this is going to be a tough game. If this Void can get the Chronos, that's the only way they'll win. And then he gets the Chronos to win, right? It's sort of a different dynamic that they've put Old 11 in.
He's also a player that has been getting quite a bit of flack in terms of like the Chinese scene, like
Really?
from their own fans and everything. He's kind of pinpointed as the problem.
Really?
Yeah, and then going into Star Ladder, they all felt like they were right. So maybe this could be some of that public pressure where he's kind of shaping up. He feels like, listen, you're all wrong. Gonna discount the haters. So.
All right. So do you think we'll see some more variation in those first couple bans? It seems like Beastmaster, Night Stalker, and Puck are the stable 3 that were banned out in both games. You think any of those guys will make it through?
No, Wyvern's still gone. Was anyone from this game particularly strong that we were willing to take out in the first phase? I can't really. Maybe the Undying, I suppose, still looked pretty good even though they lost. But
Well, this is
Maybe the Sand King?
Sand King, that's their classic opening.
Yeah, true.
I would love to see the win ratio with the Sand King NA on Newbie's side. I'll message someone, actually, to
Okay.
it always looks quite good, yeah.
see the win rate.
It's a comfort pick for them, no doubt. And that's not a bad idea, pulling out of the comfort zone. It'll also be interesting to see who ends up with first pick. We saw that same exact side and pick set up in games 1 and 2. So it has been Vici with first pick both games. But only 5 in the lobby, so we'll have another moment here.
Don't worry, we got plenty of time,
plenty of time,
to keep
guys.
on going, guys. I know this is exactly what you're looking for here. Oh, well, how about a bracket?
Oh, hey, it's a bracket.
That'll break things up for you
Okay.
there.
Well, folks, we've seen it a couple times, but a quick refresher of just the tournament at large. It's been a pretty awesome event, honestly. It's been a very interesting clash of teams, as all the minors tend to have now with the 6 different regional qualifiers built in. But did we have any really crazy upsets just looking at this bracket now? Were there?
Fnatic game 1.
Yeah.
That's
Why did we have 7 regions? Like, why are we excluding Antarctica?
Well, if they can find 5 players for a team, I think maybe that's when they can.
if I'm really bored scientists who, you know, over those winter months or something, can't get outside of the pod all too much to start shacking up and playing some Dota. Maybe next year, guys.
You know, I've heard a lot of people say that India is going to be the next big untapped market for esports.
Makes sense. There's a lot of people there, I hear.
They do have a
Yes.
lot of people,
Yeah.
that's for sure.
So
And a lot of interest in video games.
the numbers look good. There you go.
It's interesting that Dota is so popular in the CIS region, right? Even like historically, it was a really big region for the game.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool. Dota is a truly global phenomenon.
Go us.
Go
I mean, did you
us.
see what happened?
Let's all just pat ourselves on the back for a moment for
I
being
believe,
citizens of the world.
South Korea won like 3 championships or something just this week. They won like the league, they won HOTS, and they won something Overwatch. They won all 3 of those titles. Dota 2 minor, last place, South Korea. So Dota, where we tend to spread it around a little bit more,
Sorry,
right?
Blizzard.
Yeah.
What about
nice
Japan?
try.
I want to see Japan in some action, some lands there as well.
I think Japan's too busy with fighting games. Isn't that the big thing over there? The FGC?
Yeah.
Probably.
I mean,
I think they had a team like Aces ROG, of course, one of those things that likes to bring teams from different regions. So
Maybe I would
Japan
just-
came through.
Yeah.
It's
isn't
pretty
there a
cool.
WESG coming up relatively soon? That's
Yeah,
the
maybe they'll have one.
The country kind of Olympics style
Yeah.
tournament. So not exactly fair though, because there are some teams that are tier 1 teams and also all from one country. And then you have other countries that are, a mismatch of players you've literally never heard of. So it's an interesting kind of a concept, but it's cool.
Yeah, that kind of works the same way in like the Olympics and stuff, though, in some sense, right? Where like you used to have like these full university teams or something would go from like one country, and they just destroy people who are trying to just build up some squad of people because they don't have the same scene.
Is there a Croatian team for WESG?
You in on that?
No, I don't think. I
Well, what
don't
are
think
you
they
doing,
played.
dude?
He didn't get invited.
We
I guess,
played the last year. It was a disaster, actually.
Oh no! What happened? Too many of your buddies not? You didn't have tryouts or something?
No, we didn't
Nepotism?
practice at all. We just showed up for a match, and that's pretty
Dude,
much
the
it.
prize
Took the
pool for
wrong,
that tournament
took
was
the wrong
insane.
players as well.
Wasn't the prize pool like 2 million or something? Like TNC made like 700K off that event.
Come on, Lacoste.
Really?
Get in there. Yeah. See, you should have
That
practiced.
could have been life-changing money, Lacoste. You messed up, dude.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Well. Okay, hey, we got 10 players.
Yeah,
We're
got
getting-
10
we're
players.
inching there.
We're going to
Closer and
have.
closer.
So, what do you guys think about this? I've noticed now Newbee has consistently been choosing second pick. So this isn't Vici saying we want first pick. That's
You know
Newbee
why?
saying we want to have 2 picks in a row.
Yeah.
Right? Is that the whole thing?
Definitely.
Do you think second pick is just stronger right now? I mean, do we have numbers?
I like
on
second
this?
pick because of the flexibility of the final, like in between your mid and your safe lane. I feel like when you're first pick, you always have to have like 2 safe lanes, right? You can't.
'Cause if
You
you're
don't want a hero that can be like mega counterpicked.
If you're second pick, that means you get the last pick.
Yeah.
So it's second pick sounds good. You get to react with that final choice, plus you get a guaranteed duo of heroes that isn't broken up.
Yeah, well, you can ban after they only have 1 more after you pick 2, so they can counter 1, and you have a last pick, so you counter that as well, which is better in my opinion.
Okay. Is there a big disparity of Radiant and Dire right now? It's not something we've talked about at all.
I don't think it matters right now.
See, the patch is
Not
too
enough,
chaotic.
not enough games.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell. I would say Dire feels better in a lot of ways now because of the changes to the ramp. It feels like a lot of the jungling places are a little bit safer. It's harder to contest into the Dire side than it used to be. So
Okay.
overall, it should be better. I don't know if it's necessarily going to like get over top of the Radiant anytime soon.
Yeah.
It's always had a hard edge.
I always
The
love,
map
love
feels-
to play Radiant more. Whenever I play Dota, if it's Radiant, I always have a better feeling that I'm going to win because it's more natural for me to attack from left to right and
Yeah.
up and down, from down to up.
That's how most players seem to feel that way.
Interesting. All right. Well, folks, we've got a Game 3 lobby to rock and roll. The decider of our lower bracket finals, the grand finals, coming after this. Let's see what we've got going on.
Nice. Good finger guns. You've been practicing. I like it.
And a first ban on Puck, boys. So a little bit of variation, but still these first 3 heroes going to be taken out every game this series.
And at least Beastmaster for the rest of the day, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I expect a small patch to come out after Dota Pit finishes to fix all the bugs and just some changes in general about some overpowered stuff.
Okay, Winter Wyvern, again, no surprise there. We saw it in Game 1 where Vici was able to find a win.
There he is. Sand King gone.
And
Good
the
luck,
Sand
newbie. GG.
And Newbee did play Sand King in both Games 1 and 2.
And I guess now you're just choosing between your random 5s left. Consider the Undying, suppose, if you think it's been a little bit obnoxious. Or the Bane still there too. Even the Ancient Apparition, depending on what you're thinking about in your 2-3 here for Newbie.
Newbee definitely going to have some time to think about it.
I guess Brewmaster. Oh, I just realized he's still there. So that's the real question. Are we okay with giving Young 11 a first overall Brewmaster? And the answer is no. Not going to happen.
Yeah, don't want to do it.
It's interesting they keep considering it, though. They keep dipping into that reserve time still, even though every single time it ends up being the exact same answer of, yeah, no, never mind, Brewmaster. No thanks.
Yeah.
So Rubik or Bane, maybe? No, it is the Undying.
Right back to the Undying. So this is the second time we've seen Vici do this. I think if we kind of flash back to day number 1, that was where they lost to OG. They opened with Undying Rasta. Game number 2, they did the exact same opener, Undying into Rasta, and then they were able to find a win. So we've kind of seen this pattern. You know, we were talking about sort of the puppy mentality, so to speak, where
5 seconds
Yep.
a
remaining.
little more of the same. It wasn't a draft issue necessarily. It was an execution issue, boys. We're going to stick to what we know.
So once again, the Undying. I don't know what to feel about the hero. I'm not liking it. I'm hopping on haters train, I guess.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
The hate train?
I'll bring up the rear. I'll be the caboose to your hate train. I'm not on board.
I'll drive.
How romantic.
He just he seems to rely so much on that early pressure and everything, but it doesn't feel like teams are able to quite get where they want to be with the hero. But we have seen him victorious in those times where he secures that lane and gives someone a snowball edge where they can get in control. But
Nice aggressive support duo for Newbee, though. Ancient Apparition, Earth Spirit will be their opener as Vici goes straight into the Magnus.
okay. So this was the game they won, right? Second game against OG, it was the use of the Undying and the Magnus. Game went pretty well for them, and then with the Ruinmaster being gone, we kind of talked about him being this other big offlaner for them.
And DP was also one of the key heroes in that victory that you're talking about over OG. But we'll see Anti-Mage, Monkey King, the 4th bands.
Same slots.
Same
All
exact
series.
slots, yeah. A lot of overlap from game to game here.
I mean, I think Fnatic was picking Anti-Mage in the first phase even, last patch. So we're not too far from that possibly happening now for teams, honestly. If the hero seems that strong, might be willing to
That's
just
why
grab him.
Fnatic is out.
Also a true statement.
So, Undying Magnus, I guess they just want to rely on Young 11 once again.
Do you think,
Have him that Magnus.
if you're Newbie here, are you thinking we need to ban the Ogre just to prevent that Magnus Ogre +1 duo or a trio from coming out?
I'd be more concerned about the Magnus +1 possibilities. Right now, you don't really have a good save for... well, maybe they won't first. I kind of feel like the Chrono's still really good, maybe for Paparazzi here, but they haven't been a team that likes to go for the empowered Void as much as some of those other heroes.
Well, they can always go for a PA with that Magnus
Oh, hey, Potham's still in.
against Earth Spirit and AA. Especially AA, no escape mechanism hero. Also can blow up Earth Spirit pretty easily. I don't know. I love
10
and
seconds
don't love
remaining.
AA Earth Spirit combo. I've seen in
5
doing so
seconds
great.
remaining.
You can do so much with just these two ultis. They make so much chaos.
Yeah.
But if they don't get any openings, can't find any kills and XP at the early stages, they just both end up being underleveled because both of the heroes need to buy a tome, actually.
Right. We also have not seen Newbie play Earth Spirit yet this event, so this is a change of pace for them here in this elimination match.
Classic Kaka hero, though. Very comfortable on it, so no real issues there.
Pulling out the big guns, and now a Queen of Pain. Another comfort pick for SCCC.
Also leaving the options open on the off lane. Interesting, not the Mirana, though. This makes me wonder what their big control element will be to help out the Earth Spirit with the Queen of Pain not having really any sort of CC. This does lean me in towards closer on either the Faceless Void, or maybe they'll go Nature's Prophet off lane and some sort of controlling element through
Well.
the safe lane, like the Chaos Knight or the Sven still.
Some nice control in this support pick with the Disruptor. Very good against Earth Spirit, also great against the Queen of Pain.
It's been more of a faith hero, I believe, this tournament. But
Just
For
good
Vici
team
this
fight.
time.
For Vici, it's shaping up to have some pretty
10
good
seconds
5v5,
remaining.
it seems. Or 5-man.
5 seconds remaining.
yeah, I'm still looking towards that partner for AA, right? Sven, CK,
Yeah,
considerations.
they need a BKB carrier, definitely.
I think we used to say Magnus was the big thing to pick first to make sure CK didn't become an issue, right? You still have the Empower there. That was the kind of the classic thing against OG that led to their downfall in some of the series, was people first picking the Magnus to ensure you'd have answers for all this illusion. You always have the clear, so it makes the CK a little less strong, I would say.
I kind of agree with you on the Void, though. They have a really good team to fight around the Chrono. Somebody just to break up those team fights.
Against the Disruptor, it's pretty bad if he doesn't catch him. You can
That's
just send
true.
him back. It's a wasted chrono, you rely so much on the combo.
Ooh, now Newbie will be the ones to grab Omni Knight. So far, it has only been Young 11 that's picked the Omni in this event.
Yeah, I mentioned that they need a BKB carrier. They might go for something more greedy.
Yeah.
Because now they have Omni Knight.
Like a PA or something even,
10
possibly.
seconds
Well,
remaining.
I want to see a PA on Vici Gaming side.
Yeah.
5
with
seconds
the Magnus.
remaining.
Really lacking in the control and team fight right now from Newbie, though. It's all on Earth Spirit. I mean, obviously he's an exceptionally good hero for that kind of stuff, but you have an Omni Knight with no control, Queen of Pain with not any real control, and then AA gives him a really hard time.
Oh, we
There she
forgot
is.
about the DP.
Now, we mentioned it earlier. I mean, this really is a page out of the book that they played before, Undying Magnus Death Prophet.
It's just banned every single time against them, that's why.
So we'll probably lose Void now too, right? I think Faceless Void, DP, Magnus, kind of the golden
10
Chinese
seconds
trio.
remaining.
We see the rise of Omni Knight because of the Diffusal Blade change. you can't. Before you couldn't even remove the repel. Now
Yeah.
you can't even remove the ulti.
So when we saw this last time, the Juggernaut was who they chose to round out this draft for extra sustainability. With the Ancient Apparition, maybe that Jug is a little bit less appealing.
10 seconds.
I think PA
remaining.
is still very viable. The Ursa ban also does make some sense, though, especially like with Disruptor.
5 seconds
Ursa
remaining.
Disruptor is a pretty nasty combo, very hard to get away from him. Kinetic Field makes kiting the Ursa a little bit harder, of course.
I just feel like I don't see very scary tower push from Newbee. I don't see very scary team fight. The split push element isn't that terrifying either. They have an AA, an Earth Spirit, and an Omni Knight. So I would be okay with going all in on the team fight. Like, honestly, that Faceless Void just strikes out so much for me for Vici right now.
Where's the late game for Newbee here? How are they going to scale? I mean, it's sort of like regardless of what Vici pick here, feels like they are very kind of mid-game team fight focused on the Radiant. Plenty of reserve time here, though, for Vici to decide what they want to do with this final ban.
I would be thinking about that TB.
For which side? For the ban?
To ban out, to make sure Newbee can't grab it. It kind of looks like they need to force initiations, not through actual, like, Spirit Breakers or Earth Spirits rolling in or Tusks or something. It's more like we have an objective pressure here, and so you kind of have to confront us and fight into us, and that's where these kind of heroes would shine. They did go for the Sven. We discussed that instead with the partnership with the AA, so similar idea. Could have been a bit more laid back than TB, perhaps. And there he is.
Void.
Just such a no-brainer, honestly. Looks very strong.
Good last pick. A lot of control now. A lot of big ultimates left to fight around. The Chrono, the Exorcism, Static Storm, as well as RP. Some pretty long cooldowns there, but just insane amounts of team fight and also a lot of ways
10
to
seconds
take those
remaining.
objectives after winning a team fight. What does Newbee need
5
here,
seconds
Lacoste?
remaining.
Is there a single pick that can redeem this draft?
They need a miracle. Not a player though.
So you're saying they need Slark?
No. Vici Gaming so far, Faceless Void, that profits a lot of big cooldowns, but even if you miss one, they create a lot of chaos, so it's easy to set it up. Once you just pop a DP ulti, you need to react to that.
Ooh, Wraith
Choose
King.
your
Okay,
hero.
well, kind of a classic hero in context of the Void, right? And you can come back to life if he chronos you.
Yeah.
His talents have changed a lot now, so he has that, I think it's level 20 now, where Reincarnation doesn't cost mana, so that Diffusal Manta, not so much of a hard counter against the Wraith King.
Also, not someone who really likes to buy BKB, honestly. Rather just kind of stack up on the damage. So this will be the help from KP. But good things. He is good against all those big cooldowns, right? You waste a couple on him. He just reincarnates. Life looks good.
Yeah.
He helps early push with his aura a little bit, but overall weak on the tower hitting. They basically just have Queen of Pain chucking away at it. So I'm feeling just so confident in Vici Gaming's draft right now.
I gotta agree
with
on
you.
that one.
I mean, Newbee do have some options in terms of Wraith King, Ancient Apparition, Earth Spirit. Great laning trio. You can get some Cold Feet. The Chilling Touch definitely will come in handy. That Tapering Slow from the Wraith King is pretty good. But outside of the lanes, I just don't know how you win those mid-game team fights. Unless Vici Gaming are just missing ultimates left and right, this is going to be a very, very tough game
Yeah,
for Newbee.
also DP is one of the heroes that does not care about Earth Spirit and Queen of Pain harassment. If he just rolls in, she uses Spirit Siphon, pretty
He runs
impossible
away.
to gank. Yeah.
It's a good point.
Was that SG that played the Wraith King early in the tournament? They did
Yeah.
win, I believe, right? They actually did snowball enough to take that victory. So that's the kind of stuff we're going to see from Newbee. It's
Yeah, but they
Yeah,
had
that was literally the first game of the tournament.
Yeah.
SG versus Newbee.
so
Yeah.
they're taking some ideas here. I don't know. It has to be fast. It has to be quick. Or I'm not seeing it so much here. So giving the edge to Vici Gaming. Good luck, Newbee.
Okay, well, we'll see if they can do it. A lot on the line here. Again, this is the Game 3 decider for our lower bracket finals. Winner goes to the grand finals. Loser out of the tournament. Let's see what our casters think. Once more, Suns fan and Mr. Gran.
Hello, friends.
Hello.
Like Zyori just said, my name is Sunsan. Joining me is going to stop looking at me, Grant. I don't like it when you look directly in my eyes.
Well, I just, feel like we're a family right
Yeah.
now. And what a game. This is game number 3. Loser's gone. Loser's just
Yeah.
a loser. They have to go home.
Well, they do have points, so they can be happy with that at the very least.
They
But
do. But wouldn't you be
these
happier with
lineups-
more points?
You would, but
All right.
that is the unfortunate thing for the Chinese fans out here. You will be losing one Chinese team at the very least, and the winner will face a juggernaut in Team Liquid.
Yeah, pretty
We're
good
waiting
team.
in the upper bracket right now in that best-of-5 grand final.
So who do you like? What's draft right here?
I went back and forth as I was telling you. I actually have no idea. I'm a huge fan of
30
Wraith King,
seconds to
as
battle.
Alak can attest to, but I know the panel was definitely favoring Newbee. I have no idea, dude. I really don't. I think it's you have the execution
I
factor
think the panel
from
is
Vici.
favoring VG actually. So.
Oh, I said Newbee. I meant
Yeah, it's
Vici.
okay. We
They
forgive
have the
you.
chrono. They have all the team fight, but on the other side, Newbee, they have a lot of survivability.
They do. Obviously, you have the Omni. They didn't really talk much about the Omni Knight. I doubt you'll see the carry Omni Knight we saw last game. This feels more like a let's save the Quap, let's save the Wraith King kind of Omni Knight, but we'll see how good of a start he gets.
Yeah, should be an interesting one. I have yet to cast him since they've changed his Mortal Strike to give skeletons. So essentially how it works is you one-shot creeps when you get that crit off, and you will store the baby skeletons inside of you, and then you will spawn them whenever you want.
And what we did see at SG play at the very first game of the tournament, like they said, they did have a dazzle though. So what they would do is they would stun, summon 5 skeletons, and then heal bomb, and it was just insane. SG destroyed, I believe, actually Newbee with it. They ended up losing that series, but it was scary.
Yeah, definitely a cool combo. As Paparazzi's going to be forced to use his time walk to.
So they did put a void middle.
They did.
Interestingly, and now bottom lane, KB taking a ton of damage here. Shouldn't die.
Yeah, has purification in 2 seconds. Will live. Yeah, this is kind of weird lane. So I can't remember the last time I've seen a Death Prophet in the technical off lane here.
Yeah, I do like it. Obviously, it's a lot better versus melee heroes such as an Omni Knight, and Void doesn't have that much. I mean, Poor Man's Shield would be great, but it's not the biggest deal. Look at SCC has 340 max HP. Those decays are just stacking up right now.
You could tickle him and he just dropped dead. Jesus.
Yeah.
We're going to get Shadow Strike off on the Faceless Void here in the mid lane. SC, again, a decay, but I think 16 is the max at this level that you're going to be able to get with the cooldown.
Yeah, already dropping off. And Paparazzi's going to take a ton of harass and has to be careful. Time Walk, obviously, on cooldown, so Kaka could just roll in if he really wanted. And it's mostly just a 2v2 lane middle, and then 2v1 top, 2v1 bottom, and KP in a lot of trouble again.
Yep, they're going to roll in. Kaka, though, will miss out. Yeah, so much for the 1v1 mid that we were hoping for in this patch. Looks like it's going to continue to be dual lanes after dual lanes.
And sometimes, I mean, near the level 6 mark of these cores, it's always like 4v4 fights middle, which are pretty exciting. But KP in the safe lane still getting farm, even though he's running low on mana. So it's going to be tough. Once Ori gets like level 2 Spirit Siphon, I don't know what KP can do.
Young 11 taking this bounty rune away from Faith. Has the skewer in 8 seconds. Faith has yet to skill anything, by the way.
He's just whopping him. That's sad.
Half HP right now.
And now we are going to finally see the Earth Spirit roam on bottom, but unless you're going on Fenrir, Ori will have that at least always save 1 Spirit Siphon unless he's going for a kill now, and it's going to be so hard to kill him like they said.
Yeah. But in the mid lane, LAN completely out of mana now, so SC can feel pretty confident getting these last hits, although as a result of this dual lane pressure, he is behind in the CS department, 6-3 versus the 14-11 Paparazzi Void.
Yeah, I mean, extremely high base damage from Void, and obviously when you're melee here, you just have a better attack animation than ranged.
Oh, I hear a skewer. Top lane. Looks like we're going to perhaps get first blood here, although no. The health salve will be there in time.
Yeah, possibly he could have mangoed and then stunned and it would have been a kill, but he wanted to save it.
And Faith's going to take a couple of right clicks in the meantime in the top lane, and Magnus doing a pretty decent job here, level 2 at the moment.
Bottom.
We got Purification Fenrir in a lot of trouble, being chased by KP and Kaka. Kaka, nice job by Ori blocking that. And it looks like the aggression will end here.
Yeah, that was a really nice block by Ori. If he was like 1 little pixel away, that would have gone over, hit the disruptor.
Literally 1
kill.
pixel.
1 pixel.
Good lord, that's
Have you seen
small.
the movie Pixels?
I have not. I think somebody's told me about it.
Yeah, it's a real,
oh
my goodness.
God! That was a decay into a soul rip.
And it just killed him.
An insta-gib because he has no HP.
He literally had missing 16 strength into the soul rip, but he's right back here. Oh, and a haste rune though.
I mean, in some ways you're happy to die because then you don't have any more decay stacks on you.
Faith, you're in trouble. Gets the rune though.
Yeah, the right clicks will commence as Paparazzi's haste still half duration to go. There's the bash, and he'll find the kill.
Yep, so at least he gets that, but oh my goodness, that decay soul rip kill. What a way to get first blood.
And he has the level advantage here in the mid lane as well. As bottom lane, looks like Fenrir is in a lot of trouble. Kaka's be able to get the last hit. Don't think the Thunder Strike will be enough.
Well, luckily he
to
did have
actually
the
get the kill
tangos.
here.
Yeah. So Ori gonna feel a little bit more helpless down here while KP just continues to farm. And look at that, with the D-Gen, he just right-clicks him. Heal versus heal bottom lane. The two supports are just gonna bully each other while they farm. Top lane. I mean, we haven't heard much from Mugi, but he is 24 and 19, level 5. This guy is farming quickly. Do you go Armlet or Midas?
That's the question. I was going to ask the same thing. Looks like it's going to be... No, there's
Thank
no
God
way.
I asked first.
There's no way it's Treads Midas, right?
It could be.
I guess I could potentially go down that road.
Wants that attack speed, wants to be able to farm scale to the late game. I mean, Wraith King, if he gets a Blink Dagger after those two, I mean, you're just going to be all over the place.
Yeah, it's a fun hero. Do you get Radiance this game? Is that a Radiance build?
I mean, Radiance is... You always want Radiance. AoE miss,
It's pretty
always
good.
great.
I mean, you could go for the more right-click heavy, like Assault Cuirass, maybe Echo Saber, something like that with the armlet.
Yeah.
Could be pretty strong.
Yeah, I mean, we just don't see that much Wraith King, honestly.
Especially
so.
not with skeletons. How does that come into play? Do you
I
get
can't
Desolator
wait.
to help the skeletons right-click? Oh,
Or a
imagine the
Vlad.
possibilities.
Top lane, though, look at this. All the supports are just following each other. Now, Lanham's in a lot of trouble. Now he's just going to get right-click. Nice skewer downhill.
Yeah,
Wow.
Magnus running away now. Cold feet no longer applied. LAN M inside this kinetic field right now. But Kaka and company will be able to take him out with that Wraithfire Blast. So 2-2 in the score. Pretty even game overall.
Yeah, it is. The biggest thing there is Mugi with 2 stuns takes away 2
mid
raindrop
lane.
charges.
Oh, he needs another bash.
Doesn't. And wow, we're seeing the
Paparazzi.
power. He's 33 and 20, and so 22-7, and that's just the power of Undying, right? This is when he's strongest, the laning phase, and I mean, we saw him get the first blood and just harass in general.
Hey, TP's in, just soul rips, gets him back up to a healthy margin here. Gonna show off the regen rune that I'm sure Paparazzi will take.
Would love to have that.
And SC in the meantime will have to use a shrine to get back to healthy. Top lane, Wraithfire Blast on the Magnus. Here's the roll in from Kaka. Young
No
11
mana.
has no mana. And that'll result in another kill here for Newbee. Fenrir able to do a little bit of damage here on the side.
Kaka?
Glimpses Kaka back, he stands still just to taunt his enemy.
The siege unit? Oh, it turns around. That could have been a kill. Has to be careful now. Yeah, we see the level 2 Shadow Strike, obviously. I mean, especially against a melee hero.
I mean, look at the level advantage, though.
He's
just
getting-
hits level 5. Paparazzi has his Chronosphere to work with.
And that's pretty much a full cold feed as well, so like 2-3 extra hits depending on the bash from Paparazzi. That's scary. And bottom lane, I mean, there's a lot of action there early, but now it's just Ori versus KP pretty much. Ori does have level 6. He can pop those ghosts if he really wants. And 3 people, they're ready for Paparazzi middle now.
No, the roll-in is there. Faith with the right click, silenced up, and that's going to be enough to take out the level 6 Void. That's going to help out SC quite a bit in the level and farm department.
That's huge. Perfectly stacked silence and stun just by Kaka alone.
Kaka is showing why he's one of the best Earth Spirits in the entire world.
Top 3 go.
Oh, God.
All right, that was a lot slower than I thought. Just get back to the
I'd
game.
have to think about it. I don't know. There are a lot of great Earth Spirits. I mean, I remember back in the day, Jerax was probably the original Earth Spirit, I want to say.
Him and Crit
Hasn't really
probably
played it a
today.
whole lot recently, though. Yeah, Crit as well.
All right,
There's
well-
my top 3. Got it.
God, I thought you were going to answer like all quick out the top. Well, let me think.
Oh, top lane Magnus. He gets stunned up. Will the cold feet proc? Nope, the skewer is there. He'll take Kaka with him, though. And a shockwave will connect on 2.
A little bit of action going. It just feels like Mugi. I mean, he's just free farming pretty nicely as a Wraith King, but bottom
We're
line.
going to see the Chronosphere come into play. Ori with the Spirit Siphon, ready to go, along with the Crypt Swarm. Even pops the Exorcism, so this means the Tier 1 tower is definitely in their sights
Dude,
as they take out the Omni Knight with ease.
the level 2 Soul Rip actually did so much damage there. I love this 2-2-0 build. It's a lot more aggressive in the early game. You have less team fight going forward, but I don't think you mind. You're an Undying, whatever.
Yep, and here we see the pressure applied to this Tier 1. Fortification is popped.
And this
But you have to
fortification, yeah, it helps top lane too, because the creeps survive a lot longer and the next wave comes in.
Double whammy.
Dyer's
Why
top
not?
tower is under attack.
What do you think about that change? Anyway, we haven't really talked about that.
Radiant's bottom
I like that
tower is under
it
attack.
can provoke more, not backdoor plays, but more aggressive, maybe boots of travel TP plays. I like it. We haven't seen any like that yet, but
I'm
I
sure
enjoy
we
it.
will at some point.
Yeah.
And top lane Mugi.
He did
with
go
his
the
skeleton
Midas.
army, the shockwave will only kill 1 skeleton. They each deal 37 damage and have 1 armor with 300. I'm just going to read off every little skill
Thank
point
you.
here.
He has his Midas coming, so 9-minute treads Midas. Or he's here now, though.
Yeah, he's in some trouble.
Use your
he has
Midas.
his Midas. You got to use it. He still has Reincarnate, so it could potentially live through this. Gets off a nice Wraithfire Blast, but there is no TP
Middle
action
lane.
coming for him. In the meantime,
Fenrir's
like you
the-
said, Disruptor taken out. It looks like he does get the Midas off. Well worth the death, Moogie says.
That's reliable gold, my friend.
That's right.
The
It does-
most reliable.
It also takes 4 heroes to have to go to the top lane.
Yeah, it does, and
Actually
they
kill
got,
him.
they got the kill on Fenrir middle, and they can push in the middle tower. Unfortunately, it's an AA and a Quap, so it's a tough push on the tower.
Yeah, Wraith King, of course, one of the longer ultimate cooldowns in the game, has been buffed in recent memory. I feel like it was 300 seconds at one point
Yeah,
for level
it
1.
was. That
Not
is-
nearly as bad now, 200.
Yeah, that's a lot. 300. I believe that's 6 minutes, if my math is correct.
Your NA math is really coming through this
It
week.
is.
Very good.
I've really moved forward. I think it's because, you know what I love about European breakfast? Not everything, but baked beans. Like, who would have thought to put baked beans for breakfast? My God.
It's quite strange, and
But it's so good.
I can't say I've ever had a saltier bacon in my life either. It's literally like you're eating salt. It's delicious.
You hated it. Why you say it's you
I'm
literally
I'm
you threw
trying-
it at the waiter?
I'm trying. I'm trying to be nice here, Granger. How dare you?
All right. Yeah, I love baked beans, so that's the moral of the story.
Yeah, that's a great moral to have. Thank you very much. Toma's complete now on Fenrir. He's been saving for that all game. Well, I don't know. Will that get him to level 6? It's going to be close. I think it will. He's trying to chase down the courier here, and it is just used. Okay, close. Very close to 6.
Yep.
And with that static storm, that's going to make a huge difference. That's when the wombo combo starts to come into play for Vici Gaming.
You get nice Magnus ulti and the Void ulti. You don't even need the Void ulti. If Magnus ulti is good enough, you don't need it. And nice deny. Paparazzi just denied against a siege unit, 10 skeletons, and like 5 creeps.
All right, that was 5 skeletons. Let's not get ahead of ourselves here, buddy.
There's a lot. And they're spooky.
They are.
Top lane, they're getting ready to fight. They
Yeah.
know there's no ulti on Moogie.
Oh, but he does have Midas. Use that Midas, my friend. He gets glimpsed. There's no creeps even close to him. And the Void and company look to be taken out, but
Nice
looks like
stuff.
Kaka's here for support. Spirit Siphon's here with Ori. He pops the Exorcism. He's just going to attempt to TP out. Kaka will not live, will drop dead. Wraith King, in the meantime, will find his inevitable end as well, as the creeps are just taunting him so close to that Midas. So close.
Yep, nice ulti though. Faith does end up picking up Paparazzi, and he almost got solo killed. There's 2 crits in a row from Moogie, but middle, Young 11, no man unfortunately for his ulti for SCC, and the old whiff.
It happens, my friend. Faith is going to pay for it with his life. Young 11 ticking down with a Shadow Strike, but will live thanks to the Tango. And he'll TP back to base safely.
But still, I mean, this KP goes the phase boots build. He's going for the drum, almost has him. I mean, they're up 1K even though they're down. I mean, these early game kills really do not mean that much when you have someone else farming in a lane and the other team doesn't.
And Moogie finally gets to use that Midas. My goodness. We'll be going for the Blink Radiance if nothing else changes as far as his quick buy is concerned. And at that point, I mean, once he gets that Blink, that's when you really start to see a lot more action. Not that we've had a lack of it so far in this game.
It's been a kill per minute. Kaka's done a good job of roaming around, going for that Yules first. Pretty standard now. Sometimes Blink, sometimes Yules.
And Paparazzi with the Mask of Madness looks to be going Shadow Blade as far as the next item on his list. But what's your perfect initiation here for Vici Gaming in the grand scheme of things? Because you have the Chronosphere. I guess you set it up with Kinetic Field, Static Storm after the fact.
I think you'd rather have your Magnus going in first, but
Yeah,
if you need, I mean, that's the thing. You can take 2 fights around the map. We've seen a lot, like, right? Liquid yesterday took like a 3v2 fight and a 2v3, and they won. If you could do that with this lineup, with like an Undying Void, that feels pretty good. You always want your Magnus in first, because if your Void goes in and gets silenced by Earth Spirit, you're in a lot of trouble.
Especially considering he's a position 1 and not a 3 this game.
And he's not going Lincolns. That used to be the classic Wings Gaming build. He's going pure damage with the Shadow Blade, initiation damage.
I mean,
should
it
say.
feels kind of like the double bubble, right? The Enigma / Void that we used to see back in the day. They don't really synergize, but this instead it's the
top
Chronosphere
lane.
RP. LAN M might be in some trouble, but hugging the tier 1 tower very smartly. KP in the meantime, bot lane. There are a bunch of heroes amalgamating around him here.
That's good warding.
Good scan, though.
Yeah, and Vici spotted out that the Quap as well as I think the A was there, but they're going in.
Yeah, they're going to roll right in, and Undying will find his end to Mugi's right click.
But they know KPs are at the scan, like you
Paparazzi
said.
finds KP. There's a Chronosphere. The Repel was popped. Pretty nicely done, but the Exorcism will come through. Oh, he might be able to get it. No, the bash is there. And this tier 1 tower is more than dead.
Radiant's
And I
bottom
thought
tower
Mugi
has
would actually
fallen.
pressure the tier 2 top, but after the tier 1 goes down, it's tough. If Ori TP's in with all those ghosts, you don't want to be caught in that. Oh, never mind, they're going back.
Skeleton Gaming, pop those 3 charges you got there, buddy.
And they
You
see
know
the
what
TP.
I would really like to see? Oh, we're going to see a glimpse first into a silence. Queen of Pain. SC in a lot of trouble. The right clicks from Paparazzi are there with the Mask of Madness.
That was a really odd play by Newbee. So they do back out after the tier 1 goes down, and then they go back in to hit it a few times, and they just get punished. 1 TPs to the Shrine, 2 TP to the tier 2.
Yeah, a little bit of lack of discipline there from Newbee. I would say it's pretty uncharacteristic from the second place TI finishers.
Yeah, that seems really odd. We do have a blink on Wraith King if he wants to get it. I think he's just pushing the lane. He doesn't want to give away he has the blink yet. I think they want that for an initiation surprise.
I have a request for Ice Frog, Grant. Would you like
What?
to hear it?
Radiant's top
Wraith
tower
King,
is
when
under
he
attack.
crits creeps, it auto kills them, and he
Yes.
stores skeletons. If he gets a kill on a hero, I want a big fat skeleton to come out. What do you think? It's like a Nature's Prophet type of deal.
I mean, sure, I guess.
Imagine this obese
I don't
skeleton.
care. This is the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
I don't know how a skeleton can be obese, but we have to make it happen.
All right, I'll
Triple the damage.
get some people I know
Double the-
on it for you, bud.
Thank you, Grant. You're the best, man. Looks like KP in the mid lane has the drums. Phase boots will be going for a Solar Crest.
I like it. Still provides a little bit of DPS with the phase boots plus the attack speed of Drum, and then Solar Crest, still one of the best. I mean, offensive and defensive. Top lane, though, will they get the initiation on SCC? Because bottom lane, they get it on
Ice
Death
Blast.
Prophet.
Ice Blast completely destroys him.
Oh,
SC
now
in the
it's-
meantime. Oh, the RP is wasted. Beautiful blink from SC, baiting it out, one would assume.
Structures are
Meanwhile, in the mid lane, though, Fenrir's going to get right-clicked by KP. Gets off the Static Storm. He's going to be stuck inside, in fact. Paparazzi's here, and the support will be enough to turn that bad boy around.
Could have swore, didn't that happen to KP last game too? No, it was Young 11 who went for the solo kill behind the tier 2, but bottom lane ultied up is the Magnus, and he's had a bad turn of events. He's trying to get to the Shrine.
Oh, he
Body
might
block?
make it. He's going to hit it. Will it be enough, though? That magnetizes continue. Nice soul rip, healing him up a decent amount. The shockwave's going to connect on 2. And Vici will walk away healthy. Paparazzi jumps in, has the Cruiser. It's going to hit both perfectly right on the edge so the melee heroes can take out Ancient Apparition. And Newbee getting punished severely.
That's kind of what we said, right? The Magnus used his ulti top, but the Void still had his ulti and gets a perfect one off bottom. And man, it looked like Earthspear was going to get that solo kill. That would have been so big, but Shrine Gaming, my friend.
That's right.
And
Of course,
you do
keep in mind, while we watch Wraith King right-click here, you cannot one-shot Ancients, Grant. Just so you know, it's not too overpowered.
or Roshan.
Yeah, Roshan, it's funny because that was actually a thing at one point, not for Wraith King. I forget what
Something.
hero. Some hero used to be able to one-shot Roshan
I remember
for like a day.
for a day, yeah. That was a long day, my friends.
Yeah,
It was a day I played Uther Party all day instead. And now the 3-man Shrine up top, and that's all 3 cores, and they're just farming. Paparazzi now has a Shadow Blade. A new Shadow Blade, new mask feels so good on a hero like this. It's plus damage, plus attack speed. Oh, see you later, AA.
Mules into a Skewer, into a Silence. AA, you got no chance there, my friend.
Look at how much damage. He gets 20 from the mask, 22 from Shadow Blade, and then Empower. Like, Paparazzi, even with this more setup build, attack speed build, does a ton of damage.
I mean, wait till his level 15. He'll get the plus 100 time lock damage, making it a nice round. 225 damage per bash. Pretty filthy.
What if he doesn't get it?
Then
Well, middle lane.
he will.
Or-
I guarantee. I'm giving you the Suns fan guarantee, Grant.
Oh,
It's as good as the Walmart guarantee.
oh, that's good.
You can return things within 80 days, right? Something ridiculous. Pretty
So,
sure.
It's been a while since I've been there, so I don't know.
Have you told them you're casting? Do they know you're here? You're not bedridden. They know that, right?
All right, we need to change the subject quickly.
Hopefully nobody's watching from that local Walmart.
Yeah, Vici, though, they're up 13 to 8 kills, but still, with the Midas on Wraith King, he has not stopped farming this entire game. He had that 1 death top, but he's at 2 deaths. But that one big one after the Midas, besides that, he's just farming nicely, almost level 14 even.
Yeah, he's hit a lot of creeps this game, no doubt. 3 skeletons to
Chrono
boot.
middle,
Chronosphere
though.
middle, Omni Knight. Looks to be coming close to death. Here's a nice ice blast, a beautiful RP onto 2 heroes into the static storm. Seeing the wombo combo come into play. The GA is popped though. The Sonic Wave comes in as well. Only hitting 1 hero, I believe, is Wraith King. And Newbee are be able to turn this around. That's 2 cores dead, only for an AA. Looks like the Queen of Pain and company are going to be chasing down Undying, who is slowly ticking away to this Magnetize as Kaka takes the right click for himself.
And again, these Magnus ultis, like, including game 1, right, are so good, and then it just feels like they don't do anything. He ulted 2 people and skewered him back into Disruptor ulti, but it was 2 supports, and somehow the Omni Knight got off Guardian Angel, so even though they were in Disruptor ulti, nothing else was doing damage.
I think one of the downsides for this lineup for Vici Gaming, you're looking at, like, you get an RP, you get a Chronosphere, and then, yeah, you can get a Static Storm or something. You're doing a lot of damage over time. But there's nothing that just bursts them immediately. Exorcism kind of damage over time as well. You don't have like this combo that just completely annihilates a team.
And they went on the Omni Knight, and they just couldn't bring him down to Chrono.
Right. I mean, again, the survivability of Newbee is pretty crazy. So you got to burst them down, or else you're gonna pay.
And they paid.
And you can't burst down Wraith King, because I don't know if you know this. He has an ultimate that's a passive, brings him back to life.
He does. And
it's quite strong.
And he did get 15 strength. That is so much life, so much damage. That feels really good.
Of course, the 5 max skeleton sounds very memey. I'm not sure if it is good, but
it sounds terrible. Absolutely.
Oh, he's going to jump right in. AA Blast will follow, and goodbye, Death Prophet. Ori is deleted from the game.
And just like that, Newbee's up 4K gold. It went from like 500 the other way to 4K. And they have a Solar Crest on Omni Knight now. So even if you go on him, how do you kill this Omni Knight? Because you need to get him first, right? He's a freaking Omni Knight.
You have to silence him, number 1.
All right.
And then run away.
I would love Lotus Orb now. Like you said, versus the silence. I think it's really good.
Agreed.
Or BKB. I mean, honestly, a BKB Omni Knight would be interesting.
Yeah, Mugi gets repelled. Young 11's going to skewer away in fashion. Fashionably, there's SC bot lane, Aegis intact. Going for a Shivas right now. Kaka's going to TP.
Yeah. And he goes for the Yules. I mean, you see that a lot now, especially now versus the Disruptor ulti. So if she does get sent back, guess what? You just avoid like almost all that silence. And
yeah, this is, I mean, it's looking quite good for Newbee. Very survivable. And the team fights just have to be perfect for Vici Gaming. I mean, we talk about the best case scenario for them, and it is good, but you have to get them off in quick succession, nice layering and all that good stuff.
And you have to hope that Faith is in bad positioning, which he really hasn't been much of this tournament.
Yeah.
Like, getting that AA before you can get the ult off, because when a Chrono comes out, the Void is going to be doing damage. You're always going to hit the Void with AA ulti, which is actually a weird thing.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about AA last game, how well it counters these healing type strats. I wouldn't call this a healing strat, but you do have Soul Rip, you do have Mask of Madness on the Void, and of course, Spirit Siphon is a huge skill to negate if you're able to get the AA Blast on Ori.
Yeah, and he did. He got it on 3 heroes last time in that last fight, and he's almost level 10. He's feeling good. 60 gold per minute's going to be his.
Yeah, Newbee feeling very comfortable right now. Probably going to wait for this Radiance to be completed on Mugi. He's only about 300-400 away.
Yeah, I think VG, I was going to say they need to group up. They need to get a smoke, but the problem is that just doesn't win games, right? Oh, let's smoke and get kills. That's not how it works. And it's so obvious if they smoke right now, because Newbee just took a tower. They backed out into their own jungle. If VG smokes, they know they're going to run into 5.
Yeah, look at this positioning from Newbee. They're definitely ready. Mugi in the front line. Doesn't care if he really dies once. Would rather wait to die until he has Radiance, though. Becomes that much more effective in these fights.
Yeah. And smoking like right now is fine, because you saw they backed out as 5, but now it's been almost a minute. You can go into their jungle and hope you can find someone, but I mean, Newbee is just playing it close to the book here.
He takes the max skeletons, or he has max skeletons right now at 7 charges. Be interesting to see what he takes at level 20. I'm assuming he still goes for the attack damage. As we're going to see the initiation onto the Wraith King. No Radiance as of yet. It's at base at the moment. He's stuck inside the kinetic field, but here comes the repel. He gets out safely. Kaka jumps right in, gets a beautiful magnetize on the entirety of Vici Gaming, it seems. But it looks like they'll find his way to the grave. Mugi still has reincarnation, will use it. As Quap getting Spirit Siphon right now. Undying, stuck inside. Nice Sonic Wave. It's going to hit 2 heroes. Doesn't really have that much of an effect, actually. A beautiful RP, a late RP. That's what you need. Into a Chronosphere, onto 4 heroes. Do they have the damage to finish it off? It looks like the answer to that is yes. Omni Knight looks to be next. That is the Aegis used. SCCC on the run. is time dilated. He gets glimpsed back. Do they have enough to take him out? Do they have a silence? Do they have anything? No, looks like he'll be the lone survivor.
Still dilated, though. Blink taking a little bit. My God. That was the perfect, and right, AA ult whiffed on everybody. They started that fight by missing an AA ulti. It was such a good job. He skewered them back, and they looked like Vici wanted to go, and then they all backed out. And Newbee kind of got nervous about all that, and then they just got punished. The chaos definitely benefited VG.
Yeah.
And man, that just shows how important that AA blast is. It went in, completely whiffed on everyone. A fresh BKB on Death Prophet as well. And that was an easy fight for him.
Yep. But
Wow.
Radiance is technically now online.
Yeah, it was flying out on the chicken. That might have been big. That 17% miss on everything, just the damage in general. That was a nice ulti from Earth Spirit. 4 people, and then he just died. He like rolled in.
It's
Just,
like, all right, well, not much more I can do, my friends.
Oh, and here we go. The smoke is going to be up. Are they just going to go
Oh,
for paparazzi?
paparazzi. Very timely
Wait, did...
time walk, no pun intended.
Oh, no, now they know, right? Because he left his Radiance on middle, but maybe
Yeah,
they didn't
perhaps.
see.
Nope, Young 11. He'll be spotted out. He gets the skewer off into a Shadow Blade. They're going to roll right in. It will connect. Do they have dust or sentries or anything? Moogie. It looks like they're going to get the Yules. A beautiful double sun on Kaka. The angle was perfect.
They still didn't know he was there, though. He hit that without even knowing.
He's just a god.
And he did have a sentry, actually. I'm really surprised he didn't place it down. Maybe he didn't see the Shadow Blade?
Middle tower is under attack.
I'm pretty sure they saw that. It's daytime right now. Fairly sure. SC and company, though. Apply a little bit of pressure to this tier 2 tower. Young 11. RP up in 3 seconds. He gets off the Shadow Blade.
They're ready to go in. They know Moogie does have his ulti out. I'm sure, like, in team chat, you know, you write down when the number is.
Yeah. They're trying to look for a similar initiation where he jumps in with Skewer. There we go. This time it's onto the Earth Spirit to get the Veil off. AA Blast is here. It's only going to hit Paparazzi. Chronosphere onto 2. Ori pops the Exorcism along with the Spirit Siphon. Moogie's on the backline. RP is used. Looks like he's going to destroy both the Quap and the Disruptor. It's a 1-for-1 right now. Ori still has that Exorcism going, trying to chase down Moogie, preventing that Blink Dagger. The Radiance killing those creeps. Got to get that farm, man. Got to get that farm. Minus it on cooldown. That's good stuff. Gets off the Wraith Fire Blast, and there's the slow from the Reincarnation. He's going to jump right back in. Young 11 going to skewer him onto the high ground, but will die to the Radiance. Ori and Lan M now chasing down Moogie at half HP, but KP's here for the survivability. Wraith Fire Blast is applied now. Moogie looks like he will finally die. It takes forever to kill this hero.
No.
Omni Knight popping those drums. He's going to get time locked. He ended up going for that 300 health. You were right. You were right.
Sunscan guarantee.
All right, apparently is just as good as the Walmart guarantee, a.k.a. complete garbage.
And man, Vici Gaming again wins a fight, and it felt like Moogie's playing like this so aggressively. He blinks forward just to get a kill onto the Disruptor, but I mean, what does that really do in the long run? He already got his ulti off as well as the kinetic field, and then he's in a bad position, and he just gets sucked by Death Prophet, and he can't get away.
Yeah, these fights are pretty back and forth, though. It takes forever for somebody to die, it feels like, other than the position 5s on each respective team.
And
BKB now 8 seconds for Ori.
And that's the problem. There's no lockdown on Newbee, though, right? I mean, you have a Magnus ulti, you have a kinetic field, and you have the Chronosphere, while on Newbee you have a stun from
Fire
Wraith
Blast.
King.
Well, you got Kaka. He's been getting some pretty amazing stuns here.
But it's just not lockdown like a Chrono or a Magnus.
For Kaka, it is.
Yeah,
All right,
that's true.
We'll see. But no, you're right. It's not guaranteed stun, and
Feels
ease
rough.
of execution is definitely a factor here.
And because of all this lockdown, like, the Tombstone actually feels decent in this mid to late game on Undying, because everyone's getting shut down, and all these zombies are just spawning. And these full heals coming out from the Soul
Fenrir
Rip.
going for that bounty. He's going to find Faith instead. A Blast will actually not hit.
And then they get
he's going to
nervous.
run away in shame.
And look at that, Lan M just healing him up with the urn. He's full HP already.
Unfortunately, we're going to see the 30% lifesteal come out again for the Queen of Pain instead of the 650 AoE Shadow Strike. I know. I'm still waiting for that day where we see that one time. It's probably going to be a misclick. It's not even going to be on purpose.
Can we remake?
Pretty sure Paparazzi misclicked, by the way. That he definitely wanted to go for the 100 time block damage.
All right.
I know for a fact.
I was making sure, because it looked like it helped him survive the Versailles blast, but I could be wrong, so could he. No, but Ori now has the full Shivas and about 5 gold. He'll just chill here until he has it, and even more lockdown. It just slows him down while they're already shut down. He's almost level 20, 500 health on a Death Prophet in a game like this. That is so nice.
Wouldn't be surprised if we see, even though we haven't seen a whole lot of this tournament, the sheep stick for somebody like Ori, where you can't dispel it anymore. It's actually a consistent lockdown.
I think that's what she'll get after the Octarine core, honestly.
Okay.
Or it could just be a heart. It just might be tanky, right? You just go full tank on Death Prophet. Sheepstick's still just really expensive. They buffed it a little, but it's just expensive.
Moogie. He's going to dodge this smoke gank for now. KP. That's probably the best bet to get an issue. Wraith King's probably better, actually.
Omniknight's going for the Aghanim Scepter.
Oh, my. Slack's going to be happy about that one. Young 11. See how much vision they're
looking.
Here.
Oh, the
And
chicken.
They want to
Hello.
go around. There's Young 11 getting the Empower off. Wraithfire Blast is applied, and Magnus might just drop right off the bat, but gets off of Yules. Sonic Wave into 2. A beautiful Chronosphere onto 4 heroes. How is that hitting these heroes? Paparazzi is a god. AA will fall first. Looks like Paparazzi and company going to right-click down KP on this Omni Knight. Wraith King will pop back up thanks to the reincarnation.
Is under attack.
They're just going to go
One more
Kaka.
Yules for Kaka. See if they can finish him off now, and indeed they can. It's a 3 for 2 as Moogie. Skeletons are chasing. Don't think they're going to finish anybody off, unfortunately for him. He's going to jump right in, though, and Undying looks to be finding his way to the grave as well. Ori TP's out to safety, and Paparazzi Lothars.
You asked how he hit all those people before Old 11 died. He got the skewer off while he was dying, and it actually pushed to him into the chrono. He knew he was dying. That was a perfect play by him. But
that was sick.
the problem is you killed 3 heroes that don't really do anything, and now you just have a super farmed Wraith King and a Queen of Pain who didn't get hit by anything. And look at this. They're just going to take down this Roche. Moogie's going to hit level 20 off of this. Get the reincarnation mana cost, or do you is it the skeleton damage?
No, you go skeleton damage, my friend. You have to.
It's a guarantee.
Suns fan guarantee. Just watch and learn, my friends.
Yeah, Faith here now as well. Help him out a little.
I mean, they have nothing to really drain his mana, so I don't know why he would go the reincarnation mana cost.
Yeah.
Unless he just
Good
wants to
call.
Wraithfire Blast like 8 times before a fight. But yeah, I would say they're kind of weak talents if you look at them. Unless you go the 5 max skeletons in the earlier one, maybe it's good. I don't know.
Yeah, but it just means you can keep throwing stuns and you don't have to worry about it. Like, it's one less thing you have to think about.
Look at that. He doesn't even want to level it. He's probably asking his team, which one's worse, guys? They're both pretty bad.
Yeah, going for an Assault Kyros next, that's going to be big. And almost a full Mjolnir is going to come out on that Queen of Pain, and that's when trouble starts coming. Even if you chrono him, if he has the Mjolnir on him, gets the Shivas off, that is so much heal.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing that. If he's able to pick that up in time, as Newbee right now with a 4K lead.
I think I would be happy this game if I was Vici, if Paparazzi had more farm. But after the BKB, it's been a little bit slow. But he actually, I lied. He now has a Monkey King bar.
Okay.
Not on him. First, he wants the wand. Oh, there we go.
Oh, SC gets skewered in. Blink on cooldown for 2 seconds, gets silenced. The Yules is there. Still has Aegis, so
Still silence.
not going to be too stressed about this death one way or the other. Kinetic Field is already used.
No one.
Chronosphere is here, though. Will they
KP
use it?
isn't.
Indeed. They're going to try to take him out as here comes the Exorcism as well. They will commit it, and they will completely destroy him. BKB's activated galore. Kaka not able to get out in time as his Ghost Scepter is going to find his Benevolent. I hear an RP go off onto one hero. I mean, a kill is a kill, I suppose. 3 for nothing.
Yeah, I think you know, because you already killed the Quab. You're like, let's get that ulti up. And they're just going to push into the base. And that was huge. They saw KP farming top. I think that they would have definitely, after they killed the Aegis, bailed. But they're like, wait, Orange is just farming top. That's their save.
And Mugi gets glimpsed in. We have a buyback on the Queen of Pain, and I think Vici Gaming is going to use Fenrir as the bait, and they will TP out in the high ground.
And that's that. They don't have any lockdown besides Wraith King.
Wraith King needs, he needs his level 25, the Reincarnation cast Wraithfire Blast, and then Bloodstone. You blink in, Bloodstone, thus stunning the whole team. Then you have it locked down for everybody.
God, you are just, you are the worst.
If you mean amazing, yes, I agree.
But still.
By the way, he did go the no Reincarnation mana cost.
Yeah. Who would have guessed?
I don't know. I mean, we'll see if that ever comes into play, but I just doubt it.
It's just one thing. I mean, the skeletons are going to do damage. You're against a bunch of AoE as well as the skeletons
I
are
don't
just
think either are
garbage.
good this game, but yeah, you're right.
I think it's fine. You just don't have to think about it. You can throw as many stuns out as you want without having to worry.
No tread swapping necessary is what
Exactly.
you're saying?
Just
Easy
strength.
game. You don't have to control the skeletons either. It's great.
Now Faith, level 15, 20 health regen. Interesting.
On who?
The Ancient
Dire's
Apparition.
middle tower is under attack.
And now all the cooldowns are up, though. Once again, it's kind of a... I mean, both teams have big cooldowns, but because they know Dyers are there, they can just take this tier 2. Maybe go for another one.
Yeah, I feel like high ground will be a little bit more difficult for Newbee just because of the wombo combo potential of Vici.
Yeah.
But if they can catch them without the cooldowns outside the base, that could potentially do some damage to the structures. But again, they don't really have even the best push for Newbee either.
And this is interesting. SCC actually, after he did the buyback, he switched up to a sheep stick and quick buy instead of the Mjolnir. Be interesting to see if he actually goes for that.
That would be interesting.
And here we go. We might have a fight. Oh, land him.
Oh, they're going to find the Undying. LAN will die right off the bat. The Death Tombstone is up. Chronosphere onto the Omni Knight. Beautiful RP onto 2. Able to take them out with ease. It's a 2-for-1, but the cores are still alive for Newbee. SCCC gets off the Sonic Wave. And that's the second kill for them in this engagement as it ends as a 2-for-2. Mugi, blink up in 3 seconds. Shockwave will cancel.
He has a Yules, yep.
Yep, the Yules is there. Paparazzi, got to keep canceling that blink of his. He's just going to resign to this 1v2 battle as Mugi still has his cheese and the reincarnation.
I don't like that
Paparazzi.
blade mail.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a late blade mail there, but AA Blast is coming in. Faceless Void gets destroyed, and SC is here to play as well. Ori pops the BKB. Mugi eats that cheese, that delicious cheddar cheese, my friends. Magnus, in the meantime, goes down to the scream of pain, and finally Wraith King finds his way to the grave. But Ori taking the right click. How much longer on this exorcism? Not long enough. And Newbee somehow come back in that fight.
That's a level 25 Queen of Pain. Even without having the Mjolnir, just the amount of control they can do. We saw the Shadow Strike, and actually the Faceless Void got stuck in the trees for about 6 seconds there going after the Queen of Pain. And that was a problem.
Wait, was Ori playing the Necropost that got stuck in the trees as well? I can't remember.
Maybe that could be the problem.
That would be hilarious.
Oh, and man.
Twice in the same series.
That Assault Kyros coming out from the Wraith King now. Just that armor is going to be so good.
Yeah,
KP.
that gives them a lot more push potential too, which is something that they're lacking.
And now you do have the KP Global Omni Knight, so now if he goes top, doesn't even matter that much. And they're just going to push into the base.
Yep, Tombstone is placed.
The Mausoleum.
SCCC.
Heal it up.
Just going to right-click it.
Or not. There we go.
No more Soul Rip to heal that up. Free gold for him.
He has 5.7k on the Queen of Pain.
Yeah, they can do a little bit of damage here. Not sure if they're going to finish it off because Faceless Void is up in 8 seconds with that Chronosphere.
I love that they pushed during the double siege unit.
AA Blast coming in with the Yules. Static Storm is placed, but Undying. LAN M gets destroyed. Kaka rolling away. Paparazzi, a nice Yules while rolling. Young 11.
The double siege units,
RP.
they're going to get the tier 3.
You're right, so they can go for shrines after this, but first they have to run away. Chronosphere and RP are available. There's a skewer. Looks like Omni Knight will probably end up dying here.
Solar Crest, so good though.
It's going to take a while, but the Suns fan guarantee is he will die.
Oh, so he's going to live. Wow, I didn't know that.
Oh, God.
Still, what a great fight from Newbee. We see like 2 heroes on each side dying, and then the big guys finally go at each other, and it just feels like Newbee. The Queen of Pain and Wraith King having 2 lives. And he even, I feel if he saved his Blade Mill for when he came back alive, that would have just been so much bigger. Yeah, and now he's going for the Nullifier on Wraith King.
Oh, boy. Oh, same with Paparazzi. We're going to have double Nullify. I don't believe this. This is crazy.
It's going to be nuts. I like it on... I like it on both, actually, because it can definitely stop. It stops the Yules on Queen of Pain, which is big, and it could stop this Sheep Stick on Quap, which she's about to pick up.
Stops the BKBs as well, both on her and the
It's the biggest one.
And
man,
pretty interesting item. Hey, it's actually making more sense, this no reincarnation mana cost, because that's 100 mana for the Nullifier.
It is. Genius. Oh, we do have an Octarine.
You are so smart.
Octarine on Death Prophet.
Okay.
Just one of those, lower cooldown on Exorcism. Level 25 there as well. The Exorcism grants haste.
Wow. I was talking so much shit about this talent. What do you think of it?
I think it's really good in team fights. Just helps you. I mean, even just to run away, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's just good defensively. It's decent offensively with the Yules. You just run up, catch someone, and like you said, you run quicker than the Ghost, but if you Yule somebody, the Ghosts are going to catch up.
That's true. That's a good point.
And here we go.
We'll have to see it in action here.
An aggressive smoke from Vici Gaming. This could honestly just be the game if it's a 5-man team wipe for someone.
That could be. Right now, Newbee with a 6K advantage,
Oh,
but it feels like
Faceless Void.
Vici is the game.
Faceless Void bought the Relic. Sorry to interrupt. So no
That's
buyback. He has the full
Nullifier.
Nullifier. No
All right.
buyback.
Nullifier time for Faceless Void and company.
Oh, the chicken, though. Oh, they're going to get it.
The
You are
courier.
going down, my friend.
Oh, one more. SCCC will blink and kill it, but here comes the initiation. Undying again will die first. The tombstone will be placed thanks to that
What
death.
a Yules on Void.
Ori is hasted with that newly picked up talent. Pops the Shivas and the Exorcism. There's a Sonic Wave onto 2. Paparazzi with the BKB. There's the Global Guardian Angel. Magnus stuck in the wrong place at the wrong time. Omni Knight will drop to his death, but did get off the GA. Mugi looks to be next on the list. He actually just didn't have, I guess, Reincarnation is already cast. Young 11 now on the run. SCCC will blink in. Right click on Paparazzi with the Chronosphere. Does he do enough damage with the help of Fenrir? Perhaps Ori's Exorcism will be enough. SCCC will blink away. Paparazzi right in front of SCCC, who gets glimpsed back, gets the sheep stick off. Ori, though, nice silence, nice Spirit Siphon. That's an ultra kill for your Death Prophet.
And that is
Ooh.
just them not focusing the Void. The Queen of Pain used the ulti, and then he just instantly time walked, had full HP, and you're fighting into a Death Prop with Octarine. Like, they're trying to right-click her while she had Black King bar up, and they did no damage.
Did we see the Nullifier used?
I actually have no. I'm sure we did,
Yeah,
but
probably. Paparazzi right now. He's getting close to that level 25 quick. 175 chrono AoE or 25% backtrack.
I mean, backtrack's just a more guaranteed, but that is a reasonably big AoE.
It is. It's bigger than it sounds with 175. I think backtrack just might be way too good to get. I mean, his Chronospheres have already been amazing.
They have.
But yeah, I think either one you could make a justification for. He's thinking about it right now.
That was such a huge play by the Earth Spirit Kaka too. Like the Chronosphere was going to be on him as well as the Quap, but he got that instant Yules off, so he couldn't Chronosphere him. But unfortunately, it wasn't big enough because Ori is one fat Death Prophet right now.
Yeah, she has the refresher shard along with Cheese now. Refresher shard is in the inventory, or in the backpack, I should say. So we'll see if that comes to fruition. The Paparazzi did end up going to the 25% backtrack, by the way.
Just too good.
He's so hard to kill. Has the Aegis, of course. And Vici Gaming looking real good as Kaka just blinks right into his death. Hey, it happens. Hey, Nullifier was used. I'm not sure why, but it was fun to watch.
That was very interesting.
Radiant's
And the
top
tier 1,
tower
I'm
has
surprised that
fallen.
tier 1 tower has lasted this long.
It has, and now they're just going to get some free gold here. A-Blast going to come top and knock out those ranged creeps. Actually, all of them almost. But Ori doesn't care. They don't even have to use ghosts.
Radiant's top tower is under
Eh.
attack.
And this is the first time in the game I believe Vici has had a net worth lead, although very slight. But for the past like 10, 15 minutes, it just feels like they're the ones that are kind of dictating the pace of this game.
Radiant's top tower
It feels
has
like they
fallen.
have control. They have the
Radiant's
ultimate team
middle
fight.
tower has
As long as they
fallen.
don't waste their spells, might be sitting pretty here and going to the grand finals.
Yeah, they're looking good. They have the team fight, and I mean, people want to say, "Oh, Death Prop's just not that good late." But with Octarine, of course, she is. I wouldn't say one of the best late games, but she's definitely in the upper echelon.
Quite good. Young 11 right now. He got past the refresher start, so we're going to see a double RP here potentially.
Either one, I mean, he doesn't have to use it. If they just win a fight without him using that, you just hand it over to the Ghost Lady and push a lane, and you're good.
Here, Ghost Lady. I mean, speaking of level 25 for him, though, for the Magnus, we talked about this kind of being underwhelming. 20% power damage cleave or 0.75 second reverse polarity stun. But if you have this refresher, that stun, it adds up real quick.
1.5 if you're perfectly timed. So probably something like 1.2 extra seconds, which is quite a bit. But the Empower is not bad when your Void is very farmed.
True.
Both of those feel decent, honestly.
I mean, when I say underwhelming, I'm talking about in comparison to a lot of other 25s in the game.
Like four charges of Cold Feet.
Godly.
And here we go, another smoke from Vici. They're going to find Faith at least.
Chronosphere onto Mugi.
Oh.
Gets off a nice BKB, though. The Skewer's not going to place Faith inside the Chronosphere, but he will likely find his way to the grave one way or the other. Sonic Wave is placed. I believe that was the Paparazzi right-clicking on Kaka. Static Storm placed. There's the Guardian Angel
Double
Global,
ult.
but Mugi is in so much trouble. He's done almost nothing this fight. Finally gets off the Wraithfire Blast. It's a 2-for-1. Mugi finally gets the crit. The RNG gods are in his favor, but Fenrir and company look to take him down. And it's a 3-for-2 as Paparazzi turns his focus onto the Queen of Pain. Needs one more bash potentially. And triple kill for Ori. Ends up being a 3 for 4. Kaka is somehow the only one to survive, which is surprising.
And the only reason the Newbee won't just lose a set of racks here is because all the lanes are pushed in the favor of Radiant side. They're going to continue to go, though. And it was actually the Refresher Shard was used by Magnus, but he didn't get the ulti off. He died. He used it and then just died.
Oh, that's
so
a shame.
Pretty much a wasted shard.
Well, he has a Refresher Orb, too.
Yeah. He used that,
So
and then he tried to shard and didn't go well.
Wait, did he get 2 ults off then?
Yeah, he got 2 ults off. Didn't get the third.
God, poor Magnus.
Poor
Couldn't
guy.
get 3 ultimates. Gracious me, oh my. Fortification is popped.
Are fortified.
And that's
Ori?
good, because look at bottom lane. Kaka's actually hitting him with the split push Earth Spirit.
That's true. Earth Spirit is definitely a problem. Paparazzi might be getting out of here after this tier 3. Could go for the racks, actually. It's Ori. TP's bottom lane would have a buyback onto the Queen of Pain.
Barracks are under attack.
Shield Blink attempting to chase down
Dire's
this
top tower is
this
under
Paparazzi Void, but not in the cards today.
Super good play by the Earth Spirit, splitting him up. They didn't even lose the racks because he split them up.
So Ori has 8,000 gold.
Boots of Travel 2, get rid of the gem, and I mean, you could go whatever you want. Sheep Stick, more than likely, or a Heart, I feel.
worthy tribute.
Could be just an Assault Kyros, too.
Anything over 5,000 gold is probably okay.
Yeah. Maybe not a Rapier, but
I mean, you never know. Might get to that point.
the Sunsman guarantee.
Suiciding myself for Paparazzi to pick up.
Refresher Orb.
All right. Screw that Roshan shard. I'm going to get my own.
And they could just go for another team fight. It seems every time Vici's smoked in the late game, they've actually found somebody, which is rare, right? Because usually both teams are sitting as 5, but Vici Gaming's fine with them sitting as 5. They'll just run at you anyways.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. Vici, I mean, I don't think there's any question who has a better team fight in theory. It's all about execution, though, at the end of the day.
So, pardon me, Suns fan.
Yes, please.
But does Diffusal Blade take off Guardian Angel or no?
No.
Okay, so it's just garbage.
So the only thing that would take them off that they could get is a Nullifier.
Okay, and that's what they have, and that's honestly probably why they have it now that you say it.
That's right.
No, and they've used it. I mean, that's why SCC has been living so long, because we've seen like 2 reverse polarities on her, just holding her into place, but they just can't kill her because of Guardian Angel globally.
Yeah, I kind of make fun of the Ags from time to time. It's a little bit underwhelming, but in this case, just got to make sure you get that off. And that's 10 seconds of invulnerability unless a Nullifier is used on somebody.
Now,
But they can only use it on one person. It's a 14-second cooldown.
Yeah, it is. And VG Gaming now up 12K. From being down about 4 to 5K consistently for 20 minutes to being up 12,000.
It's quite a bit.
And still the Death Prophet. I mean, Death Prophet has a refresh orb, but you just put that in your backpack. Still can get one more item.
Yep, Sheep Stick or Heart.
And now a fresh BKB up on the Queen of Pain. Still, she has to avoid the Magnus with the double ulti. Even if he solo ults her and they don't kill her, just keeping her down for like 6 seconds is all it takes in these teamfights. Because, I mean, honest, Mugi's just getting ripped apart by the Void. Just absolutely ripped apart.
Actually, I wouldn't be surprised if Ori picks up something like a Halberd. That could be pretty good utility against a Wraith King to get that off before the BKB can't attack. Yeah. Also, the evasion is pretty huge for Death Prophet.
And look at this. VG is just counter warding right now, getting all the map control they can.
Paparazzi looking for that Chronosphere initiation.
Radiant scanning, they see him.
Yeah. I mean, it feels like one of those games you just wait for Roche and that's probably when you have a fight, or maybe not. Young 11 on the cliff. He's ready to go.
And they know they want to force a mistake maybe because they know the Queen of Pain has no buyback for sure. They don't know about anyone else, but you kill that Quap and, well, it's probably curtains.
I actually can't believe how far ahead the Death Prophet is in terms of net worth. It's pretty insane.
Yeah, Crypt Swarm every less than 4 seconds.
What is Void? I mean, Boots of Travel is the next progression. We're going to see a jump in here onto the Undying, the usual death for him. That means the Tombstone will be placed and the fight might begin. Young 11 looking for a potential RP, but there's only one hero here.
And
we'll just wait it out.
Buy some time there for Newbee. Almost has his Nullifier as well, going for that Sacred Relic.
And now that I'm thinking about it, Nullifier might be better than we were thinking. I had it top 2 with the Spirit Vessel on top probably, as far as the new items are concerned. I think that's still pretty accurate.
All right.
The Spirit Vessel, though, it feels like it's a support item that's very difficult to get.
Ooh,
It's
and
very expensive.
Kaka's actually just running him down. Wants to get a Yules off on
Ori
somebody.
gets
Oh,
the
paparazzi.
silence.
Hello.
Paparazzi's here, pops the BKB. There's the glimpse, though, on to Kaka. He's back in the midst of things. Wrong place, wrong time. That's an easy kill for Vici.
Yeah, it is. And now Mugi, they're like, wait, Queen of Pain has no buyback. Mugi has no Black King bar. Well, oh,
Yeah,
wait.
but Exorcism's pop.
No,
They
my
probably
bad,
go
he
for
has
Roche now.
Yeah.
Queen of Pain. Actually trying to get a refresher. He's not really close, but it's interesting to see the refresher is the next on the list for him. Buyback on the Kaka, and that's actually a really good buyback. Prevents the Roche, and now Exorcism is on cooldown, but like you talked about, refresher is technically available.
And Queen of Pain with that sheep. If they can somehow get that initial... Oh, they're blinking in. No vision, but Dyer does scan. They have to know something's up.
Oh boy, this could be the end for Newbee here at Dota Pit Minor. Young 11 gets sheeped right away, though, into the Wraithfire Blast. The Chronosphere's going to completely whiff. This could be a disaster for Vici Gaming as Ori gets off the Exorcism. Sonic Wave dealing considerable amount of damage. There's the global GA. Buyback onto the Magnus. And here comes Kaka. Attempting to get away, getting purified at the last second, but the roll will not be enough. As there's the RP.
Has
You see
another one.
The refresher used, trying to get this Queen of Pain, but not a whole lot of damage to speak of. The purification keeping him healthy, along with the repel, and finally reincarnation is popped. But here comes Mugi, blinks out of the kinetic field, right-click and disruptor, crits him down easily, but now it's a 2v1. KP is here to help, though, with the purification. More buybacks to come. Disruptor and Void here to play. Chronosphere not up for 70 seconds. Wraith King will finally die. He has buyback in 100 seconds. A Blast will connect on 2. Ori does have his silence and Crimson, but no Exorcism to speak of. He's attempting to TP out. The right clicks, are they going to be enough? Yes! They get him. Does technically have buyback, but he has no Exorcism. Refresher was used as well, and you're right. Roshan looks to be the play.
And that was huge. Faith getting that 4-step on SCC in the middle of that fight, just moving away so he could get that. And he actually Faith got nullified like 0.1 second after he got the 4-step off, or else SCC would have died. And that is a huge team fight win.
That was, look at the net worth lead now. It was 15K in Vici's favor.
2K.
Now it's
Wow.
essentially even at 51 minutes. 2K means literally nothing. We have the Aegis now on Wraith King. Who picked up the cheese and refresher?
Refresher is on KP, the double global ulti.
Oh my, yeah, that's okay. That's pretty good.
And cheese on Quap. No more boots. Don't need them. Refresher orb gonna be on Queen of Pain, probably for the sheep stick. Double sheep stick's actually insanely good here. Double BKB as well. Man, what a crazy game. Like you said, miss one Chronosphere this late in the game, and that is not good for you.
Yeah.
And now, I mean, perfect initiation, too. Having that Sentry Ward down, they killed Young 11 before you get in the fight, so he bought back right away. But you're not ready. You want him to initiate the fight, and he's dead. He's TPing back to a shrine.
Yeah, that sheep stick on Young 11 was pretty clutch. Of course, he was just standing in front of the Roche pit in Viz.
I think he was seeing if, like, his smoke broke, and he's like, it did. But do you really want to blink in and commit your ultimate if nobody's in there?
It's
risky.
risky.
They were nervous.
Definitely risky.
And now both teams, I mean, the buyback status is no one really has it except Omni and Ori. Going for a moon shard.
All right, you know what time it is, Grant?
What time?
It's 52 minutes. We can start talking about more level 25 talents. I know you've been wanting me to talk a little bit more about it.
Oh, dude, AA's is so good. The 4% Ice Blast kill threshold is actually so good this game.
It is. It is amazing.
Dang.
It sounds small, but the threshold is pretty ridiculous. We have the reincarnation
4%
Wraithfire
sounds
Blast,
small
by
to you?
the way.
My goodness.
Yes, 4%.
My friend.
Dyer's bottom shrine is
Maybe
under
not in
attack.
Europe, but here we have Wraith King. We're going to see that AoE Wraithfire Blast when he dies. Always nice to have.
It is, and
we haven't really talked about Quap, but she did go for the 20-second spell block, so essentially a Lincoln Sphere for her.
and he did go to 200 purification for you
Did he?
on the Omni. Yeah.
All right, looks like I'm right again. The guarantee is intact. I mean, it's still really good. I don't think
It
you
is.
can.
I think both are just insanely good. It's
Yeah.
one of those that both are really good.
I think, depending on the game, how you're feeling, for sure.
Dyer's top shrine is
You know
under
what's ridiculous if we get to 25 on Earth Spirit? If Kaka picks up the geomagnetic grip targets allies,
Dyer's
that
top
is.
shrine
I wonder if
has
that
fallen.
works in Chronosphere. Do you know?
I have no clue.
If that works in Chronosphere, my God, that is insane.
That'll be good, yeah. Better than good, pardon me, but very good.
Very good. Thank you. That's like the old Aghanim Scepter for him.
I like that. And Ori picks up the Moon Shard, but gives it to the Void.
Oh, that's nice.
So Ori uses some
And
of
she
that
has way
money.
too much gold.
Yeah, not anymore now, but I think Newbee definitely, they have the advantage here. They need to push, not now, just before the Aegis expires, right? Like, they need to make something happen while they have Aegis up.
I mean, if he can even use it, he has to die twice.
Yeah.
I'm actually a little bit surprised
he's been doing
they
a
gave
pretty
it to
good
him.
job dying, so I don't think it'll be too hard.
It's still pretty difficult. It's not the easiest thing in the world.
My man's been struggling with this nullifier.
Yeah, that's true. He's never building this thing. Let's just resign to that at this point.
And like you said, it's so hard for a Newbee to push uphill into this Chronosphere that covers pretty much all the hills, as well as I mean, if you get Chronosphered and then Magnus ulti, you're getting 5-man silenced by Ori. It's just so hard to push uphill.
By the way, the Magnus KP did go for the or not KP. He's been playing a lot of Magnus this turn, but Young 11 did go for the 0.75 second reverse polarity stun duration. So we're going to see double of that.
And only really the Dirge far away from level 25, and none of his really are that good. I mean, a full life for an Undying doesn't mean that much.
Yeah, but the 2-second delay cooldown is pretty good, especially if he's going to end up with Ags at some point, which he has queued up. If he can get that, that's huge. He becomes like a semi-core at that point.
He seems to be the martyr of their team, though. He's the one who's always dying.
He literally does every single fight. That's how the fight. That's how you know the fight actually begins, is when
the tombstone pops down from his body.
Yeah, pretty much. Disruptor, on the other hand, is actually getting closer to 25. What do you think of these skills? So 4-second kinetic field duration or minus 10-second glimpse.
I think if you're in a winning game and you hit 25, glimpse is insanely good, but kinetic field duration is insane. If you get like a silence off on somebody as well, and they're just stuck there for so long.
Yeah, it's actually a tough choice. So minus 10 seconds for glimpse would mean it's an 8-second cooldown. I would say that Glimpse is one of the most powerful single target spells in the game, so that's pretty ridiculous.
I think this late in the game, if you're in a team fight, not like maybe one person's running away, so you need Glimpse once, while the 4-second hold in place for Magnus is too good.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I feel I don't think.
Oh, Moogie.
He's
going, oh, I'm so excited. Oh, this is so powerful. They're so hard to kill, and if somehow Vici can take one of them out, they will reincarnate, essentially, for 7 seconds, can still use their abilities, and I believe items, I want to say? Not 100% sure about the items, but...
Not sure. I know skills, yeah. I believe items, too.
It's really, really good in late-stage scenarios like this. These team fights are going to last like 80 seconds.
Time is money.
Yep. AA just farming up with his ulti.
Oh, yeah, that's good. Oh, my. Good, clean stuff.
Man, they didn't push in with that Aegis, though, on the Wraith King.
Oh, he actually commits. He commits. Yeah, you're right. The Aegis is now out, so Ags will replace it. Ags on Disruptor, though. This is super powerful.
Yeah,
it mutes items as well as, I believe, it either lasts longer or deals more damage.
But good.
That's right. Well, it doesn't purge.
And here
Or
we go.
doesn't dispel.
And both teams are willing to just farm up and, let all the buybacks come back.
Oh, wow. Actually, Kaka goes for the 1-second Boulder Smash stun duration for his 25 and not the Geomagnetic Grip. Very interesting. I mean, obviously, that's still good. I just figured maybe he knows something we don't about the Chronosphere interaction.
Maybe, too. And, I mean, just hitting that Void with the Boulder Stun while he's in the Chrono, just stunning him so he doesn't do any damage. It's extremely good.
If he could get an Ags at some point this game, that would be pretty big for them. A Blast, again, it takes out entire waves.
That does.
And LAN M, is this the start of the fight? Are we going to see it?
We might.
Get stunned. Counter Yules, though.
The Boulder Stun. Look at that. Oh,
Young
my
11 on the
goodness.
sidelines. Pops the BKB, gets the RP onto 2, into the skewer. GA is popped, though, into a Static Storm. Remember, that's an Aghanim Scepter along with the Chronosphere. This is a lot of damage onto Kaka. He will drop before using any spell. Quap very low, gets Yules, will likely drop at some point. The Sonic Wave, though, healing up with a 30% spell lifesteal. Faceless Void might drop. He gets the Time Walk off in the last second. The buyback onto the Queen of Pain. Moogie right-clicking on the Death Prophet. That Exorcism is ripping right through him. Young 11 with another RP available. Will he use it here? Biding his time on the sidelines. SCCC still has cheese. Trying to go for this tombstone. There's the RP. Onto 2. Into another skewer. Paparazzi obviously does not have Chronosphere.
My goodness.
Beautiful damage being done. Ancient Apparition looks to be dead. There's the Wraith King Ags. That means they are eventually going to die. We'll see if they actually have any spells to use as Omni looks to be next on the list. That is 4 dead for Newbee with the buyback on Queen of Pain, so essentially a team wipe.
And more than likely, VG knows that Wraith King doesn't have ultimate. They see that like freshly minted Aghanims, and they're like, unless this guy farmed a ton, which he hasn't, he's not going to have buyback.
Right.
And now they have, Ori will have his ultimate back up in 70 seconds. That's fine.
There's no exorcism for a while. Obviously, Refresher was used, but Paparazzi,
He does enough damage.
he hits a lot.
Yeah,
He hits for a lot.
My God, that was just such good just combined ultimate. The skewer into the disruptor, right, was so good.
Oh, they're gonna go back here. I mean, it is scary. You don't know for sure if Wraith King has buyback.
And AA's ulti. You don't want to get hit by that at any cost.
That's true. Is he 25 yet? No, not quite 25. Void. I mean, once they get a full Rax, they'll probably realize that Wraith King does not have buyback. Chronosphere's back up in 8 seconds. Young 11. No RP to work with, but we've seen a lot of beautiful skewers from him this game.
We have.
And we're going to have a double GA potential here from Omni Knight, but doesn't have his first one to use. So they'll give these 2 racks up.
Yep. They're fine with that. Whatever. They don't take the ranged even, but Roshan possible to be up in 20 seconds. That would be the dream for VG Gaming.
That time walk cast range is it's at 20 now, so much more achievable in a regular game and very noticeable. It's plus 500. The old 25 used to be plus 600, so it's not even that much of a nerf. They're going to smoke up. Oh, it's a fake back here.
Oh, the old
if they can get
fakerino.
25 seconds left on Wraith King's
they might see
time.
AA ulti.
Paparazzi,
Oh.
Chronosphere onto 2. They're going to take a nice GA, though. Not sure if the nullifier is going to be used, but looks like Quap just dies. That's a dieback, and Vici Gaming are looking to clean up the rest of this game. LAN M and company are going to be going to the grand finals to face off against Team Liquid. What a series. Great series overall.
This was a great series. This was a great game to end on too. Just barely breaks the 60-minute mark. And it just felt like the team fight, right? The team fight of Vici just always felt stronger pretty much every time except that one team fight by Newbee in the mid game.
Yeah, well executed on both sides.
And Young 11 continues to be just the best performer individually.
He's really been good this tournament.
This guy's been playing so well. And then the Void also getting that farm. And Ori, I mean, he had the most farm in the game. He just kept farming, even gave the Moon Shard over to the Void. And it just felt like, once again, once one team took the lead, it just felt like they just continued on with it, except for that one team fight. What, 15,000 gold for Newbee? They won it back, but unfortunately, once you got the refresher on both Death Prophet and Magnus, you couldn't win a team fight, it felt like.
I have to say, watching super late game scenarios now in this patch is actually so much more fun. Level 25 talents, you got Refresher Shard and Roche. Every game feels really crazy. And Vici Gaming, I mean, they've struggled in the past. They did well in the qualifiers for this tournament, obviously, since they did qualify for it. But did drop off a bit in a couple tournaments afterwards. But they're looking pretty decent right now. And I mean, I'm not sure how that compares to Team Liquid, who they did lose to in the upper bracket finals, but we'll see.
You got a whole day to prepare for it, though, so it'll be interesting to see what they have to say. But what do you think the panel has to say about this game?
I don't know. I don't really care. I want to see commercials first. I'm pretty sure that's going to come. Grant, I believe you are done. You have to catch a plane in the next hour. Congratulations on a great tournament, good sir. It's been a pleasure.
You too.
We'll be back after this, guys, as Vici Gaming is going to take on Team Liquid in the grand finals.
Get the alpha, be the alpha.
With the Strafe Esports app, follow your favorite teams and players, and you'll never miss a match again. Strafe, everything esports. Download now on iOS and Android.
Words cannot adequately express the hype that was contained within that series, but that Game 3, my God.
Was this the best game we had so far? Yes.
Definitely the best series, but yeah, I think that might actually be the best game of the event. I mean, that was unbelievable. We saw so many different builds. We actually got to see a Wraith King Aghanims in an unironic manner, right?
Yeah.
That was a smart pickup. It almost worked, but in the end, it wasn't enough.
It's a game deserving, honestly, of a grand final. Like, didn't even look like a lower bracket final. You know, that was unbelievable. So, very excited to see how Vici Gaming are going to be able to perform up against Liquid. But for now, this, I mean, it felt really strong going into it. The game, it's so different now in the late game compared to what I expected, right? Like, I look at this draft and I say, how the hell are you going to have any chance in the late game as Newbee? But Refresher Shard and the Cheese, they changed so much. You see teams buying back every time because that fight over the Roshan is just too important. You can't give that up. There's no way.
Well, and especially with a team like Vici Gaming, you've got so many big ultimates where you know if you have triple RP or double Chrono or back-to-back Exorcism, that is game losing. So you have to commit those buybacks to secure the Roche.
This is the reason why I love Dota so much. The Wombo combo.
Yep.
It doesn't get better than this. Void with the DPLT with Mag, just skewering them into the Chrono, just on the edges. Some really sick plays there.
It's just so much less reliant on the actual heroes you have, you know? It's way more about that play, get the Roche, get that Refresher Shard on someone. I mean, that means you can get an ulti from someone that maybe you can't farm a Refresher, or maybe it's so terrible to farm a Refresher on that hero. You have this option now on your team. I mean, I think we had one fight where he had both the Refresher and the Refresher Shard on the Magnus, but he couldn't even use the last RP because he was out of mana. Like, maybe spread the love around a little bit, but it's absolutely unreal what that's brought into the game now.
Once again, we see the Undying. Can't remember the name because it doesn't look like Undying on the profile.
Pirate Undying.
Yes.
Captain Undying.
Big squid.
Well, you can actually feel that hero does not do anything late game.
Well, he's got the Golem, the Spell Amp, right? That helps the Death Prophet do more damage.
It's sure it's a little hard to tell.
It's hard to see.
Hey, he tanked a lot of spells. I mean, he got focused down quite a bit, that's for sure.
He goes down so quickly, though.
Yeah, somebody's
okay.
got to be that frontliner, I
Also,
suppose.
Ori on that Prophet was just...
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say the same thing about Young 11.
I know. Yeah, well, I'm not going to even mention him because the guy's just insane.
Yep.
The score doesn't say it. I mean, 32 assists, yes, but the score overall... But the guy, what he does with that mag is just...
Yeah, no matter what happens in the grand final, maybe it's just because Liquid got to play less games. Let's say they 3-0. I still am going to have a hard time not saying Young 11, MVP of the tournament.
Yeah, I'll guess who are two of your favorite players. Ori and Zai.
Ah, look at you piecing it together. That's why Suns fan says Zai Ori the way that he does. By the way, speaking of Suns fan, you should see the pit stains on that guy. My God, he was going ham.
Check out his Instagram.
Check out his Instagram for the photographic evidence. We're going to have some replays coming up before too long here, hopefully, because there were a lot of crazy team fights that we want to break down. The grand finals, of course, is coming up next. Team Liquid, they are prepared. I saw them eating a nice hearty lunch a couple hours ago, getting ready. They all had it up on their phones. They were taking notes. They were watching. They were discussing. But that's not starting until 4:30 local, so we've got about 40 minutes, 35 minutes or so until the finals get started. Of course, we want to give Vici plenty of time to reset, simmer down, get a little food in their bellies before they have to play that big best-of-5.
Plus, you got to go and maybe watch some replays, check out some Liquid stuff, because this series, to me, it doesn't even seem like it's going to help you very much up against Liquid, right?
Yeah.
Like, how much of this stuff is connected to how Liquid's been playing the game? It doesn't really look similar. We've, again, talked about how they seem to be on another level. It's not even really the same heroes going on here.
Right, yesterday in that 2-0 in the upper bracket finals against Newbee, we saw the Lone Druid in the first game and then the Brood Mother in the second game. The only picks for either of those heroes, so absolutely different ball game.
I think we should just try to play their own game, not try to focus on Liquid's picks. Just play whatever they feel comfortable with, which pretty much worked here so far.
Can we talk about the Spirit Vessel? Did it do anything? Undying did get a Spirit Vessel, so that kind of followed what we were hoping for, but did it make any difference?
Not this game, though. Seems like Nullifier did so much more.
Yeah,
Well,
Nullifier
the item,
owned.
the
Pretty
item
good against
seems
Omni,
so
right?
good.
Deal with that
Queen,
GA.
too. Several times we saw it on the Queen of Pain being used just so she couldn't like turn around and scythe you or Yule's herself. No option for a saving play. Both games now with that Spirit Vessel against the Omni +1 though, it's really cool because typically you think about AA, you have to like, you know, you Ice Blast the target or maybe Ice Blast everyone, blah, blah, blah. In these games, we've had numerous heroes that are trying to heal that one target, but as long as you Spirit Vessel them, obviously, you know, you can't get Soul Ripped, you can't get healed by someone else, you can't get a mech on top of you, so it really allows you to like pinpoint and focus that one person with something much easier to execute than an Ice Blast.
You can't get mech on because there's no mech, right?
Mech's a dead item.
Yeah.
I actually have, now that you say it, we haven't brought it up, but we really haven't seen many mechs. Have we even seen?
I don't think we.
There might have been
Guardian
some Greaves,
like
maybe.
a couple.
I
Mech
don't
does feel
think
like
so.
a dead item.
Even the Tidehunter is skipping the item because it's so garbage.
That's pretty telling. That is wow.
Pipe Dota.
We should also mention SCCC on that Queen of Pain. Outstanding quad performance that game.
Yeah.
So many of those fights that looked like they were going to be lost, all of a sudden this 3-hero, 4-hero Sonic Wave comes in. Very elusive, hard to lock down. In the end, like you mentioned, the Nullifier felt like the final piece to kind of shut down the Queen of Pain. But he just, it was a standout performance. He really did a lot.
It's weird to have something that kind of cancels out that BKB catch-all, right? We always talk about picking heroes that are BKB counters, you know, your Banes or something like that to get that grip on top. But until now, Doom has been the only person who's really just like, no matter what you're going to do, I got you covered. But
BM,
we can
Lasso.
just mute everyone. Yeah. But
Okay.
I'm saying items, whatever.
Well, folks, I guess that means it's
You just
almost...
said, just said Doom. What?
Replays.
We do have replays. Okay.
Oh,
so,
this is the best way to start a fight. This is what makes the difference. How they start a fight with a Magnus and the Skewer, which makes great teams from the good teams. It separates them.
Yeah, pulling Mugi way out of position to get things started. Yeah.
Well, that's the problem because Raid King is not a great sieger anyways.
This was a crazy play from Paparazzi. He got Ice Blasted really early in this fight, and he was just hiding in the trees for so long, waiting for that play before he come with that huge chrono.
Oh, man. And this is just the beautiful setup, the RP that leads right into it. And it ends up being a pretty big team fight. Very convincing win for Vici on that one.
And that was when they were pretty far behind, right? That was when it was starting to look like that, okay, maybe Newbee actually will be able to do this. Can they get high ground?
Just as the Wraith King was getting Radiance. So this is sort of the beginning, the first turn, I guess you could say.
Yep.
And we've got another one here. I think this is the epic team fight around the Roche Pit when we see all those massive buybacks come out.
Oh, that's Queen of Pain with the Arcane Rune. She uses Hex 2 times on a Void. They couldn't get him.
Yep, I'm misremembering. It's a different fight. I'm sorry.
There it is. First time. Once again, Lanham tanking all the damage.
Yeah, that GA, though. KP really put in a lot of work on the Omni Knight that game. The GAs just seemed to be the thing that allowed them to take these massive team fights.
Yeah, it kept them in there for like the longest point of this entire game. It was just all about the Omni Knight, and then we started to see a lot more focus on top of him to make sure he was being found in every fight. And then eventually there were just so many nullifiers that they kind of had their person.
Look at this
Pull up
play.
the positioning from
Paparazzi.
Gets the vision so they can secure the glimpse. They pull him back and...
Oh, never mind. It looked like a sick
silence is
play,
there.
but they actually had a ward on the left side. So
Oh, did
never
they?
mind.
Okay.
We're just
Don't-
hyping it up
don't
for
tell
no
them that.
reason.
It's okay.
He actually positioned himself badly. Never mind.
Well, it looked good live. Here we go. 5-hero smoke. This is one of the winning fight, or the winning fight, I think. There's the chrono to start things off. Another
those
beautiful
chronos
chrono from
on the
Paparazzi.
edges.
Yeah, he had a couple of those that were just completely unreal.
The
And that
Queen
was-
of Pain just completely obliterated, a non-factor in that last engagement.
He also had that one greedy chrono that almost might have lost in the game, right? Right, Queen on one side, Wraith King on the other. You try and split the difference, and unfortunately, you come up empty with no heroes. But they did recover. Might have delayed the victory by about 10 minutes or so. However, they got there eventually. Wraith King eggs just not quite enough. As much as we were hoping for it to be cool.
All right, folks. Well, we are going to move into a break. As mentioned, we've got almost exactly 30 minutes until those grand finals start. So stick around. But the last series of Dota Pit Season 6 is around the corner. Liquid versus Vici, a best of 5. Let's see who wins this minor here in beautiful Split, Croatia. We're coming back after this break.
It has to be a fool.